The Three Sides to a Story is a pop culture podcast provided as a public service, but is neither a legal interpretation nor a statement of policy. Reference to any specific product or entity does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by Three Sides to a Story or the hosts. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the podcast does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. Views and opinions expressed on Three Sides to a Story are those of the hosts and do not necessarily reflect the view of any entities they represent or any of its officials. If you have any questions about this disclaimer, please contact 502-696-5300 and ask Daniel Cameron why he didn't arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor.
Yo, you are now rocking with Three Sides to the Story, the pop culture podcast for the people. They say there's three sides to a story, one side, the other side of what it really is. Each episode will tackle topics from three perspectives, try to get to the truth. It's your boy Tony B with the homies Rex Cruz and Aubrey. Follow us on Instagram at Three Sides to a Story, on Twitter at Three Sides Pod, on Facebook at Three Sides Podcast. Subscribe, tune in, and turn us up on all your podcast platforms.
You're not rocking with the best.
Yo, so before we get all the way into it this episode, I want to take a quick minute. Hip hop lost an important member of the DJ community, DJ Indiana Jones, aka Ron Minor. Ron was, like the ambassador of the culture for Indianapolis, and he repped that city to the fullest. That man had mad love out in New York. He worked with EMI on Gangstar Records, on Diggable Planets Records, and he could have stayed out there and done his thing with the legends out there, but he chose to come back to Indy and build a hip hop scene out there, and he did it very successfully, man. Like that man had started a festival a music festival in Indy, and had Griselda there last year, along with a lot of and on the love he showed for local artists in Indianapolis. So just want to send blood to his family, Gabby, all his family and friends. Rest in peace.
Yo, rest in peace to homeboy, man. Like I saw a lot of respect out there. I didn't know homeboy, but he honestly had to be official because I saw that he was represented from a lot of the dope record labels and a lot of people that respected him. So shout out to Indiana. I apologize for y'all loss, and let's look for the next homeboy to come through and like continue his legacy and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No doubt, man. No doubt. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. Speaking of hip hop, y'all catch any of that E40 versus with Too Short?
Man, I feel like a dud. I missed it.
Oh boy, man! Hey, listen, now you talking to the right. You talking to the right nigga to talk about that shit right there, boy.
I mean, that's a very. I figured. I
thought about Usaki the whole time when as it was coming up. You know.
You know what, man? Like that. Excuse me, guys. The Bay, man. First of all, we have to talk about how official Oakland, Sacramento, Vallejo, Concord, where my son is, like that area, man, is truly, truly official, bro. Like it's hard to explain it, man, unless you've been there. And I'm sure both of y'all been there, so y'all understand that. So I think like what's dope about that area, man, it's a mix of like Indianapolis, Milwaukee, Chicago, Tennessee, Memphis, you know what I mean? Like all that wrapped up to somewhere on the West Coast, which is fantastic. You know what I mean? Like when you have something like that, man, that's a beautiful situation, bro, because it doesn't exist that much. You know what I mean? So when you have that kind of music coming out of there, man, which is a mix of the South and innovative West, hearing Too Short and E40, man, like me personally, I went with E40. But I love Short. I grew up with Short, but that E40 shit slaps so fucking hard, man.
Man, it's crazy. Wait, I want to ask you real quick, going back to what you said. You mean the sound sounds like kind of like a mix of all those regions and cities you was talking about?
Physically.
No, I'm saying maybe I said that wrong. But what I'm saying is that Oakland has a huge they're inspired by the South, right? Like you can tell, like you can hear um, a lot of shit from like UGK.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
anybody from the South that's bumping, right? You can
Hmm.
hear that shit, and Mac Dre, Too Short.
Yeah.
And you think about even like Master P, but Master P really he just went there for the pimping game, not really the pimping, but the pimping on the music, right? He had a whole music empire popping. We all know that, but it wasn't about innovation. So the people that was doing innovation in that era was really Too Short, E40, Mac Dre, all them cats, man. It's a lot more. What's the unofficial mayor of from Oakland? Homeboy with the clothing line downtown. Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Come
I
on, man.
definitely
Damn, that's gonna bother me, man. So I figure out what it is.
Who did you say?
But uh,
unofficial merit.
the unofficial official mayor, they kept talking about him all night. But yeah, damn, I can't. I'm gonna figure it out, and then I'll tell you.
No, I was just saying I missed it, but definitely I was kind of late to the. I mean, obviously not short and I mean short and 40. I mean, I definitely obviously rocked with short from the beginning. I didn't. You already know I come with the other perspective. I don't want to say I wasn't an E40 fan, but I just think for me I wasn't really feeling it until a little bit later into it. You know what I mean? And I
Hmm.
was like, oh, this shit. You know what I mean? Just because it was different. You know what I'm saying? And different from what I don't know, but he had his own style. You know what I mean? But
E4,
yeah,
yeah, it's like an acquired taste. I say. I
isn't it?
always tell people like,
Yeah,
because like I remember when I was in high school, like me and my homies loved everything from the Bay, E40, Richie Rich, uh, the whole clique. Like that sound was just dope to us, but people hated that shit too. Like people would be like, "Man, I can't believe y'all listen to this shit." And like I feel like E40 has been like kind of underappreciated over the years because of that. Like some people didn't get the slang, but now you look at the slang and it's like literally has gone all through hip hop, right? Like
Yeah,
that Bay
yeah,
Area
yeah.
slang. Uh, but
So
nah,
what
I
I
think
what I
it.
man, let me Tony B. What I will say, man, like there was an era like when I first moved to Oakland. Mac Dre was that cat, right? Like Mac Dre was just on some real.
Yeah,
Like for me, it felt like Milwaukee. So when I went to Oakland, it felt comfortable. It felt like home. And then what was ill, man? I don't know if I ever told y'all this story, but when I first moved to Oakland, or when I first went to go visit Oakland to go get a job, right? I didn't know nothing about California, like literally, bro. And on purpose, I didn't wear no blue or red, like on
just off it.
purpose, G.
Yeah,
it's all
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
off bat.
Off the
So then when I
strength.
when
Yeah.
I when I flew in, I hopped in the car with one of my Sri Lankan brothers, and then
What? I'm not even
yeah,
gonna start because this is gonna get
ah,
sidetracked. So go ahead.
so I hopped in a whip, right? And then he took me to I think the agency got me a room at the Hyatt downtown Oakland on off of Madison or
Yeah.
something like that. No, real shit. So then I go in, right, and I see the dude at the door. I walk in, go check in, come back down because I'm about to hop in the cab. This is before Uber. So I was just about to hop in the cab and go see what's happening on the West Coast. And I swear to God, yo, on my family. I go holler at this nigga at the front door and I'm like, man, listen, man, I ain't from here and I ain't trying to be on that blood and crip shit. I ain't trying to be on no gang shit. So what I got on, I'm good. You know what homie told me? I swear to God, yo. You know what homie told me?
He hit you with that lit. What he said?
That nigga said, nigga, we out. Nigga, you in Oakland. We some pimps. I was like,
Right.
oh shit,
It's
nigga.
my type
You
of
talking
party.
Right.
hey, hey man,
Let
you
me go
talking
get
that
my
Milwaukee.
robe.
You talking that Milwaukee language. Exactly, nigga. Let me get my
Cues.
robe, nigga. You talking that
Aubrey
Milwaukee
cues the
language.
whispers. He hit the
Yo,
whisper, hit the play button,
He
hit my
started playing
soundtrack.
yo, man.
it. You hit the remote
I
control on the.
Man, listen.
Yeah.
When that nigga told me that shit, dog, I ain't never felt more home than anywhere else in fucking Oakland when I've lived all these places in my life. When that nigga said that, he was like, man, we ain't about that gang banging shit, nigga. We some pimps. And
Right.
then the first nigga I met in a weird way. I met this nigga in the bathroom. He sold me some weed or some shit. He was like, nigga, and we just started chopping it up. He was like, man, what you on tonight? I'm like, shit, I ain't on shit, man. Man, let's go see this Mac Dre, nigga. And he took me to this club, man, on the that might have been the west side of Oakland, man. We went to this little club, man. I took some other cats that was with me from Carol Williams and really
Mm-hmm.
got off into that culture. And I was like, oh man, these really like Rex, they some
Like real
west
talk.
side Chicago cats. They some west
Right.
side cats.
No,
They
it
not
is.
south side
Yeah,
dudes.
it's
Like they some
yeah.
west side cats. So that's why I
It's
gotta go with 40 all day.
Nah,
And then
40.
hey, Tony B, real quick. Respect to Mr. Fab. That's what I was talking
That's
about.
who it was,
The
Mr. Fab, the
the
mayor. Yeah,
unofficial official mayor
yeah,
of Oakland, California. You dig?
yeah. So he and Too Short brought him out too.
That's a fact. That's a
Yeah.
fact.
Now that was I think that was if you watched it, I think it was a great versus, and it was dope to see these two dudes get celebrated like that because again, I don't think they often over the course of history, like, now they got that longevity too, and they've been on, like, current joints, and so they stayed relevant, right? But
each
for a
other's
long
joints.
time, right, you know what I'm saying? But for a long time, they didn't get the due respect. Too Short did. I won't say that. Too Short always got the respect. I mean, he had people. Everybody loved Too Short, but E40 had haters for a long time, so it's dope to see that. And I think that's a question I wanted to ask you guys. We talk about the GOAT conversation all the time, and when you talk about longevity, relevancy,
I ain't
credibility,
even gonna say that for me, G.
would you put
Yo,
them? Would
I,
you?
I'm starting to feel some kind of way about that E40 comment, bro. Like, I hear what you're saying. I remember who was it? Was like, yo, we don't fuck with that was Rasheed Wallace.
Yeah. He
Jackass.
said it on the
We don't
second on
fuck with the
the Hall of Game.
E40s. Yeah, no. Like, let's understand about E40, man. E40 is an absolute original classic Slangadell. You know what I mean? Like that nigga he is on some other shit, bro, and he is completely underrated. Like he battled Too Short for the respect of the Bay, but E40 really could have battled. He could have battled DJ Quick. He could have battled. It's a lot of people. What's the Dog Pound? The
Right,
producer from
Yeah,
corrupting
Dog
them.
Pound.
yeah. Dash and
Yeah, man,
corrupt.
it's E40, bro. Like Jesus Christ, man. He is the West Coast, in my opinion, Buster Rhymes. Like
Wow.
whole new sound. Nobody can fuck
That's a
with him
good
when he jump on. Like
that's a good
E40,
comparison,
man.
actually.
That's the Figadale, man. What that nigga said the other day, he was like, back up like a snow crab.
He
Nigga,
just
what?
making shit up. Right.
Yo, his slang is crazy, bro. Like,
Yeah, that nigga told the niggas to back up like a snow crab. Nigga,
man,
what? Nigga
it's
E40 is an
insane.
ill nigga, man. Ill
Yo, you
nigga,
saw
man.
Steph Curry had that Instagram video where he was dressed up as E40 and doing that dance E40 was doing. That shit was
I ain't see
funny,
that.
man.
I missed
Yeah,
I
that.
wish
I
you
mean
was
that's
sick.
crazy. Like, I mean, granted, he's like courtside at all the Golden State games, but I mean that cat has got respect, man. Mad respect to E40 and mad respect to
And,
Too Short.
yeah, you
Too
gotta
Short
figure
though.
that.
Too Short. Going back to what you said about the pimping, real quick though. That was a crazy thing. Was like while I'm watching that, like what Too Short's content is, right? Like anyone who knows Too Short, but now, like every time like something like this happens, like there'll be like a think piece or something where somebody got to say something about some shit, right? And like you think about like Too Short's lyrics and like his content, and like how offended people get today. And man, I'm sitting there listening to this shit, and I mean, again, these are songs that like you had like everyone from like every color, from
Yo,
dudes and
that
girls
motherfucker,
singing these lyrics.
Right.
that nigga Too Short be like, bitch, get off my dick, sit
Right.
down, bitch.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That nigga be on some
I mean, it's
wild shit.
very direct. He's
But
very
remember the
direct on what he's
videos, you
saying.
just walking down the street rapping. You know?
Rapping, yeah, and it's short, like you know what I'm saying. So I don't want to see that happen. Where I just have a feeling somebody gonna want to be smart and thoughtful and put together, thought provoking or whatever, and say some shit. But it's Too Short. We knew what the hell Too Short was gonna say coming into that
Man, you know
verse.
what you signed up for.
Exactly.
Bitch,
Right.
What's my favorite word?
I mean,
Uh,
bitch. That nigga Short on some
you
shit,
gotta
man.
say it like short.
Man, listen, what was ill? I saw some. We gonna move on, but what was ill? I saw that nigga Freddie Gibbs is a wild nigga on Instagram, right? So
Oh boy,
homeboy
not me.
put a picture up of Jaheim. He was like, "Yo, Jaheim is like 41," and then the nigga looked terrible. And then next
Something
to him,
happened to that nigga, didn't he?
he was like, "Yo, you got to put that woman first." And then the next picture was like short. Nigga was like, "Bitch," and the nigga was like 54. And he looked like a baby. You know what I mean?
Hilarious.
Straight up.
It's funny.
Hilarious. Yeah, that's funny, man. Yo, so real quick before we jump off versus, do you see Game said he is down for the versus with 50?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
He should be
That's
though.
not a bad. That's
Game
not a bad battle though. That's not a
ain't
bad.
got shit to lose. You know.
Nah, and he was basically saying like it would be like a situation like I mean they've already been in the same room, like it was in a club or whatever, but they've talked and shit or whatever. So like he was basically saying like, yo, I would want to be in the same room definitely, and like so we could chop it up and all that shit. Da da da. So I think that would be kind of dope, man. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Man. Game
That'd
is
be dope.
game is not to be played with, right? Like he's an MC's MC. Like I think we can all agree on that, right? Like
Yeah.
Game, he can rap, yo. He can rap.
That's what I said a couple weeks ago. That's a rapping ass nigga. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Rapping ass.
Yes,
rapping
right?
ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right,
yeah,
so
I guess
all right.
we'll see with that one. That'll be I don't think 50 would ever do it because he got too much to lose. Game ain't got nothing to lose.
See, that's what I was thinking. Game ain't got shit to lose. I mean, regardless, win, lose, or draw on the verses, it's 50. That's the one that's going to essentially look, away.
I mean, but if they just kind of going like more so like on some like just back, not like on some back and forth shit, but kind of on some E40 too short shit, that could lead to something for 50 from a music perspective, right? Like he could do a single with Game and drop that shit. You know, that shit would go fucking viral and get mad streams and all that shit, So it could just be another way for him to keep getting bread on the music side. He already getting it on the power side, right?
50 definitely would have to, not saying control the scenario, but he would definitely be the one that would be the orchestrator of how it would play out,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. That would be interesting though. I would love to see that.
I mean, speaking of fights, so we talk about these versus battles. What y'all think of that? I mean, we were talking about it a little bit over text during the fight, but what y'all think of that Canelo and Smith fight?
That was a clinic on the Canelo side. Pretty straight up. You know what I mean?
Clinic. Like, I mean, and one of the reasons I wanted to bring this up is because I know, like, a couple episodes back, we were talking about fighters. I think it was when we were talking about the Jake Paul and Nate Robinson joint. But we were talking about fighters in their prime. Oh, no, we were talking about the Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. fight.
Roy Jones.
Right. So, I mean, then we were talking about Tyson and Ali, right? Like, so I think this is a interesting, like, we can't, like, not comparing, like, Smith to Ali, obviously, but size-wise, like, in a comparison to Canelo, like, it was kind of a similar physical, like, matchup, right? Like, as a Tyson versus Ali. And again, like, I'm not comparing him to Ali, but you could see, though, how, like, a smaller fighter like Tyson could get inside.
Yo, did you you see that shot that Canelo? I have never seen this, right? Maybe I'm premature, but he threw that right jab, right? A fake right jab, uppercutted homeboy in the face.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Did y'all see that joint? Like, it was like I had never seen that combination before, man.
When I saw it in real time, I was like, "Yo, that shit looked weird." And then I think later, whenever when they were showing the highlights, when Buddy, the commentator, was like, "Yo," when he called it out, then I was like, "Yo, that's what that shit was." You know what I mean? But he hit him with the right, and then he faked the follow up with the right, and then he undercut his ass with the left. It looked like a glitch. You know what I mean?
Bro.
It looked like a glitch.
When they were showing the replays at the end of the rounds, like, it was crazy seeing some of those combos.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I think it was one of y'all cats might have said it. It was like I feel like Canelo just he ain't want to knock Buddy out. You know what I mean? Since just because or whatever. It's like after every round he was tapping him like, "You good? You good?" He'd beat his ass, put on a clinic, and then tap him like, "You straight?" You know what I mean?
Yeah, like he was like his coach or his big brother. Or
Yeah.
something.
Like, you good?
Yeah, like because Buddy was undefeated. Like,
Mm-hmm.
right? So,
Mm-hmm.
man, but that was it was a great fight to watch, just because. Man, that was just boxing. Like, Canelo was just boxing that motherfucker, man. Like, that shit was dope. That shit
Man,
was
that shit
dope.
look easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't front, man. I ain't watch it. I just saw the Instagram clips and shit.
Yeah, no, it was decent.
Decent, definitely decent. Yeah.
I guess real quick before you push on it, it seems like most of these fights, at least the last majority of them, cats don't, except Nate, cats don't really get knocked out. Cats ain't really getting knocked out. Like, I guess it was just Tyson and some of them guys before, but cats ain't. Most of these fights are all going 12 rounds and all by decision.
True.
You know,
Yeah.
seems like back then, cats was more getting knocked out. That shit doesn't really happen so much anymore.
Would y'all fight a gorilla? Say, would you fight a gorilla
No.
for like maybe? Hold on, Tony B.
I'm considering it. I'm like, let me hear what the speculations are.
20 stacks.
20 stacks.
Would you fight a gorilla
For 20 stacks?
I mean, just fight me just being the same.
That's not even a life insurance policy.
Right. Well, what does that mean? Are we just like
a life insurance policy?
Can I just step in the cage and run right out, or do we have to like, make contact?
Right.
That 20 grand ain't really sounding right.
Yeah, no, you gotta get hit a couple times, man. Like 20 stacks. Would you fight a gorilla?
No.
If you getting hit a couple times and you're in an enclosed space with that gorilla, that means you're getting hit more than a couple times, bro.
And
you ain't getting away from that cat. Like,
and you ain't getting out. He's grabbing you.
And he beat you. And beat you.
Or slamming you like a rag doll.
Yes.
Man, you remember Cats
was dragging you around that motherfucking cage.
I heard you too. Yeah, when not niggas, but when cats was fighting lions and
fucking kangaroos and like for free. Like, why wouldn't you fight a gorilla for 20,000? Wow. I ain't gonna fight no gorilla for 25,000.
A gorilla.
What would you fight for $25,000? What would you fight? Like, what's the most dangerous thing you would fight for 25,000 cash? I'm gonna say a West Side nigga.
That's funny because that's what I was thinking when he's crazy ass West Side.
One of them crazy ass West Side nigga.
Or one of them Southwest methed out nigga cats. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
that's funny, man.
Yeah. Who would you fight, Tony B, for 25,000? Who's the worst person you would fight? Or worst thing you would fight for 25,000?
For 25,000.
It's the worst thing you would fight. I want to hear
Beethoven's
too.
You gotta jump in on this. Two pit bulls.
If I have one of them, if I have one of them police training jacket suit joints, hell yeah!
You said 2 pit bulls. Hell no. You can't. I
would do it in one of them suits.
Right. You said you'd do it?
I would do it for 20,000 one of them suits.
That don't count, man. What would you do as a
25,000 though, actually, you said. So.
What would you do as a regular human being for 25,000? Wow. Who's the worst person you would fight, yo?
The worst person?
No. The worst thing you would fight.
Roy Jones? Nah.
Yeah, that's pretty bad too.
I don't know, man. I've never thought about the worst thing I would fight for money.
Man, you should fight Beetlejuice. For Howard Stern.
I knew you was gonna say some dumb shit like that. I knew you were
Beetlejuice kicking it in. G.
That's hilarious.
I might could fight you and take 20,000 from you.
Direct debit.
Not if I got my goddamn what's her name on. If I got my
one of the
You're
500.
my Sir and Madam robe. They had a Sir and Madam
Aubrey gonna
robe.
come in the ring looking like what's his name? We used to rock the robe in the WWF.
Which is a
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair.
Yeah, Aubrey gonna come in there on that woo act.
Hey yo, Beto, real quick, man. What's the craziest thing you would fight for 25,000?
What's up, man? I don't know, man. Everybody gets in the ring with these boxing kangaroos.
I was literally thinking about kangaroos, Beto. I don't know why. And I was gonna say a baby kangaroo, but I thought Aubrey's gonna talk shit, so I was gonna smack him.
And a kangaroo will kill your ass, man.
Remember Buddy last year? I think it was last year, the year before, on social media that stuck the kangaroo. It attacked his dog. Yeah. Remember that joint attacked his dog, and Buddy squared up on the kangaroo. The kangaroo was like, "Should I attack him? Should I get him?
Should I attack him?"
The thing's got claws, man.
Remember the other kangaroo.
Yeah, no, I don't. But the kangaroo is not logistically,
because it doesn't operate.
Punch you, kick you, jump on you. Like,
that fucker gonna kick you, man, with them claws, man. They'll shred your fucking legs up, man.
Man, they'll kick the shit out of you.
A fucking ape will tear you to shreds,
bro. Oh yeah, ape.
An ape will tear you to shreds in like 5 seconds.
Slam you all over the place.
Yeah, man. Or drag you all around that cage.
Take your leg off and your arm off at the same time.
Pitbull's got the lockjaw. I mean, there goes a limb right there.
Yeah, no, 2 limbs.
Wow, bro.
That motherfuckers tear your head off.
Right.
Actually, I take that back. I ain't fighting no goddamn monkey, man. I don't want to fight no monkey, man. I don't want to fight no monkey.
I need all my limbs.
Man, speaking of money, real quick, you saw Tiffany Haddish turn down this hosting gig for the Grammys, like for the pre-show or whatever.
Nah, I missed that. But what happened?
It was because of money, right? So apparently, like what happened was the Recording Academy or whatever asked her to host, like hit her up and said, "Can you host this pre-show event?" But then they told her like she would have to host it without a fee, and that she would have to cover the cost of her travel and like all her shit, like her hair, makeup, and wardrobe, and all that shit. So then she was like, "Nah,
I'm confused."
Yeah, exactly. So like it got leaked or whatever, and then like the Academy apologized and said like, "Oh, it was a mistake." Like,
wait, what do you mean it was a mistake?
They basically said, like, for lack of a better word, they basically blamed it like on an intern. Like,
on an intern?
Some rep sent the wrong correspondence, yada yada yada.
They forgot to include your fee in the email.
Can you imagine being Tiffany Haddish and getting asked to do this, and then being like, "Yeah, let me know what the if we good on the fee on the travel costs and everything," and they're like, "Oh no, that's on you." Like, what?
Right. Nah, I missed it. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's whack. That's basically disrespectful. You know?
It is, right? Like, that's crazy,
man.
man. That's crazy.
Y'all fuck with Tiffany Haddish, man? I mean, not like from a personal standpoint, but from a thespian, actor, comedian standpoint. I know I'm putting y'all on some political shit right now, but don't worry about it.
Well, it depends. You know what I mean? No, not at all. Not at all. It depends. I mean, some of the joints be funny. You know what I mean? Some of the joints are just kind of, you know what I mean, are not always so funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I've definitely seen it. I've definitely straight up, and I've seen it go both ways. You know, and I've seen it, and I've experienced it go both ways.
Yeah, I think with Homegirl, man. You know what I would love to see, man. You know how actors can have like this position where they get real dark and do like dark comedies, or where they're almost like murderers or stalkers or some shit like that. And it's fucking genius, right? Like Robin Williams did it. I think Chris Rock did it. A couple of actors were like, comedians will jump into this real dark role. I think that's where,
like Chris Rock just did with Fargo.
Exactly.
Yeah, Robert Townsend.
Like, you can like, when you're so brilliantly creative and funny, maybe that's not your lane. Maybe your lane is like, I'm gonna flip that shit and do the opposite. I would love to see her in some like Meryl Streep type dark shit. You know what I mean? Like diving into.
I can see that.
You know what I mean? Where it's like a little more versatile, because people will always judge her comedy, right? They're gonna judge her comedy, but when she jumps in that role, can't nobody judge it, man. When you're a dope ass actor.
Yeah, man. I think that, to your point, that like I think like sometimes the roles, she's super talented and she's funny as fuck. Like I mean, I think sometimes the roles like the bigger roles she gets into are kind of like, to your point, Aubrey, like they're like pigeonholing her, right? Like so they're like, oh, this is Tiffany Haddish, like she's this specific character, and she's basically playing that same character with a different name.
Yeah, exactly.
It seems like sometimes, right? Like,
yeah, I would just love to see somebody give her a dope ass writer. Like, you know who would be dope? Like her and homeboy that owns Monkey Paw, Jordan Peele. Is that his name?
Right. Yeah.
Jordan Peele. I would love to see what he would do with Tiffany Haddish, man. And if y'all do that shit, y'all gonna owe me some bread, because I'm sure Tiffany Haddish gonna hear this. But yeah, if y'all do this,
no, we all in it.
I'm definitely in it.
Yeah,
definitely.
But yeah, I think that would be dope.
You know, and I actually see what you're saying, because I could definitely. I think what it is, she's got a pretty dominant personality. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She would. That is actually a good idea.
Yeah, I hate that gay away, but it's for black culture, so it's so good.
Anyway, sticking with this money topic. All right, y'all saw real quick. Y'all saw those. They about to cut those $600 quote unquote stimulus checks soon, apparently.
So they hitting cash for that $6 holler.
Man, bro, that's what it sounds like. It's a $900 billion package, and $600 checks is what the American people are worth, bro. Like, and I heard, and I was reading today, like, that Trump is now saying
he might change that.
Yeah, he's like, yo, I might not sign this shit, yo. Because, but the reason he's saying that, he's like, because you got to raise that amount to, he said, I think 2,000 or 4,000 for families or something like that.
Right.
And then he was saying, and man, cut all this shit out of here for these other countries. And man, I ain't really read through all that shit like in detail like that, but I kept seeing some shit online I got to look into. It do look like there was a lot of shit in there that I was like, man, that looks like that shit could be diverted to the American people also. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, I don't know the ins and outs of it, so I don't want to come off like or some shit I don't know, but it looked like there was like a lot of money that were going to other countries too. And again, I don't know for what reason that shit was, but yo, man, I don't think now's the time to like. I think now's the time to like. If we only get $600, or not we, but the American people like are only getting $600 per house or whatever, right? Like,
yo, you know what? $600. Hey, what can $600 buy you?
Man, I get you a week and 2-3 weeks of okay groceries.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For a family.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean? For a family. So it's crazy. Real quick, while you're on that, I was talking to one of my guys, a former client, now friend, and this is literally just like last week or the week before. And somehow not even the stimulus came up, but we just, back and forth. And he was just like, yeah, no, they're taking care of us over here. You know what I mean? Everybody, who's available, who's still working, et cetera, et cetera. But their government and understanding what I'm saying, I'm not asking the government to take care of me, because we're all obviously physically capable of attempting to try to do something on our own. But what I'm saying is, though, where other countries have the capabilities to help stimulate the economy and help these individuals, why are we talking about $600 in quote unquote the greatest country in the world? You know what I mean? And it just doesn't make sense. Like you said, I mean, $600, what can you do with that? You know,
it's the fucked up part is today. Like while I was reading about this, something I read today, like I think it was on NBC News, said that if it wasn't for like they were saying like a rare like bipartisan coalition that was like Bernie Sanders and some other and then it was like another like a Republican congressman or congresswoman, like a group of like bipartisan people came together, like a very small group, and pushed for the $600. They were basically saying like that it wasn't going to be included if that push hadn't happened. So like they really weren't thinking about us at all. Like
no, it's weird. It's weird. You know, it's definite. It's definite. You know, I mean, I understand. You know, again, passing funds to stimulate certain, you know, sectors, economies, and the industries that are again keeping the country's lights on and the nation's lights on. You know what I mean? So I in one sense, like for instance, you're obviously putting money into these in the live music venues. I mean, because it's not necessarily only helping quote unquote the live music venues per se, but it's also the real estate establishment, the landlord or the owner of those properties. Because you're thinking about it. If you're talking some of these spaces, I mean, you know, we're not even talking like big stadiums. We're talking even a couple thousand, 5, 10, even 20,000. I mean, that's $20,000 worth of lease, rent, mortgage, whatever a month that's going into something, and you figure you times that by 12. So yes, I understand helping trying to boost we'll call it the big boys, but that should also filter down. You know, I mean, it should be a good tiered way to filter that through to the, you know, I mean, the local neighborhood mom and pop and individuals as well. So it's not just put it here and let everybody else drop off. It's, you know what I mean? Take care of your people collectively if that's what you're going to do, or don't do it, you know?
Yo, who y'all
that's
think?
me. That's me.
Yo, who y'all think been eating the most, like during this COVID?
Amazon.
Like who?
Amazon, my nigga.
I was gonna say
Amazon have been eating. They've been eating off you every damn day, damn near.
Bro,
yeah.
Look outside. I mean, look outside. Check. As Tony just said, check your whatever your Zelle, whatever. However you have it set up, your card or your link, your account. You know what I mean? Yeah. As Amazon is eating like crazy. You know.
And I think what you're gonna see right now too is,
you know what? This is this is a good one. Hold on, I gotta interrupt y'all for a second. Beto just hit us with the news who he thought was booming right now, and I gotta agree with this. There's two of them I agree with: Netflix and Zoom.
Netflix is definitely
and Zoom.
We didn't even get to it, but yeah, 100%.
Who was Google?
Apple too, though. FaceTime, yeah.
Like Google.
Amazon though. You got to think about this too. Like right now, it's the holidays too, right? And if you see people complaining about delivery right now, it's literally about the United States Postal Service. That's where the delay is coming, and that also stems from that stopping funding and all that shit during the election when they were like moving fucking or removing postal boxes and shit and like all kinds of shit, like, and removing and cutting funding and shit. So like now we're getting the after effects of that, right? Like, so the United States Postal Service during Christmas when they're trying to get gifts out, that shit is not. So a lot of people ain't gonna get that shit till way after Christmas, right?
But the point of it is, man, like, who's really been eating and how we hold them accountable, right? Like, for what we dealing with. Like, and I don't want to go too deep in this, but, like, the folks that's been eating. And I forgot who I mentioned, but then, I think we talked about Amazon, right? But then Netflix, Apple, Zoom, and then like some of those folks, man, is really, really eating and making it work. You know what I mean? So, and even telecom. So at some point, man, we're gonna have to hold them
Instagram
or
Instagram is been
who's
making
that? That's Facebook, right?
Shout out. Well, I'm talking about Instagram specifically, talking about what they're doing with Versus, right? Like, and the D Nice shit and all the DJ shit. Like Fadia, what she's doing over there is impressive, man. I mean, it's like you said, it's adapt to what's going on, right? Like they made it work. Like versus like when shit goes back to live or whatever, or real life or whatever, they talking about taking verses to real life, right? So I mean,
But real quick, Cat's definitely got to figure out a way too as well. You know what I mean? Because there's definite plenty of bread moving about in the place. You know, I mean, I ain't got it all yet. You know, but it's definite bread in the place for Cats. Has got to get innovative, creative, and you know what I mean. Sometimes you got to kick back and reassess. Not sometimes, but reassess before you jump back in. So definite.
man, I think you're right, Rex.
Yeah,
100% right.
you can't. You know what I mean? Because if you sit there and you just ponder in the wrong way, you're gonna essentially make yourself continue to believe that that's what it is. You know what I mean? And I mean, while we definitely try to fight, and not even to say level playing fields, but it's just as we get more intel, we just got to be able to pass that intel to others that are open to hearing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, Cats that are gonna, Cats. I mean, am I salty that there's only $600 going around? Yeah, I would have definitely preferred to take the 18 or the 12 or whatever. But am I about to let that $600 like ruin my parade, rain on my day? Nah, you know what I mean?
Nah, man. Like I think, like you said, man. At the end of the day, like, and like, I'm not saying this to speak for everyone because like everyone's situation and circumstances are different, right? Like there are like people that were laid off that had families and they in a different circumstance or whatever, right? Like for me personally, like what I think, like I guess the one silver lining in this whole shit is it, like you said, like it made you figure out like what a different move is, right? Like, oh shit, what if what I'm doing, like my everyday life isn't my everyday routine or source of income isn't what it's always going to be, right? It just made you reevaluate, and I think that was a kind of a blessing in disguise, right? Like,
because
it
what
brings
the fuck
out the
is we
hustle
talking
in you,
about
right?
right now, man? I have no idea what's happening. I'm so lost, y'all. Are we talking about like Iman Shepherd, or are we talking about goddamn
this nigga said
Iman Shepherd or
you get
Big
that
Dog Glenn Robb?
Where did that come from?
I have no idea, man. That's exactly. I don't know where this conversation is going, man.
Rex, were we talking about the same thing?
We were closing out. Yeah, it came. It was like, and we were not closing. We were moving on, and just before we moved on, I had brought it back to the beginning because it was
Gregory Hines, Sammy Davis Jr.
You crazy?
We were saying this shit brings out the hustle in you, or whatever, like, or like whatever, like, to switch, to get you back on the same page as us. Why don't we jump over to hoops real quick and talk about
off tonight. I was trying to log in on. I was trying to log in on my phone real quick to see what your boy King James was talking about.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that new Giannis contract, which is absolutely amazing.
Who?
Giannis.
Oh, the NBA giving out free money. They giving out money right now.
Oh yeah.
Yo, but before we get into Giannis, though, let's talk about James Harden real quick, man.
What? We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What's the goodness around that? What good is happening around homeboy?
Nah, I mean that's just what's going on with him in the Houston issues right now. He wants out of Houston. Apparently, wants to go to Brooklyn. The Rockets wasn't going for that shit. Yeah, who doesn't, right? But the Rockets wasn't going for that shit, and he started doing kind of some wild shit, right? Like he got caught on IG kicking it in Atlanta, a little baby's birthday party. Yeah, with no mask on, of course, and then had a quarantine, miss like training camp days and shit. Then I think after that he went to Vegas with little baby also. It was supposed to be at these training camp workouts the next day and shit. So, they said today or yesterday, Sunday or Monday at practice, he got into it with cats on the team. Like, threw a basketball at Jason Tate, the rookie.
Right.
And was, like, cussing out all these other cats and shit. So they were probably like, yo, where you been? And man, that shit is wild, man. What y'all think about this dude Harden, man?
He was trying to get his ass up out of there.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck, man, about that nigga.
Yeah, he just trying to get his ass up
I
out
don't
of
really care
there.
about that shit. But I heard Homeboy was thinking about coming to Milwaukee, so I respect that. He's a smart man for thinking
Man,
that.
but do you think this is a smart way to go about trying to get out of there? Just being like, fuck y'all, like basically like
Yeah,
making it known this much, like I don't want to be
man,
here.
you ever been frustrated at a job, bro, when you don't give a fuck? It's
I
not about the
mean,
money at that
100%,
point.
bro.
It's at that point. It's not about the
it's two
money,
ways.
man.
It's two ways to look at it because and I think Tony, that's part of, and I'm not even going to say any names specific, but I think that's part of the problem, and I'll just say collective with I'll just even say we, not even like we, but just we, a bunch of people that we are, you know what I mean, sitting back and expecting it to be, but you know what I mean. From what I've seen, it's like cats reward the cats that talk shit. You know what I'm saying? And be like, yo, what the fuck? You know what I mean? It's and not saying it's right or wrong, but it's like, yeah, Beto, like you said, squeaky wheels get greased. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't saying shit about it, cats is gonna keep it going. You know what I mean? They're gonna keep it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna keep moving forward without it. So Harden's like, yo, I want to get the fuck out of here. If you don't want to make me get the fuck out, if you ain't gonna help me get out of here, now I'm gonna make it uncomfortable for everybody in here. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with it, but that's essentially, he's like, yo, let's expedite this shit. You know what I mean? And just stand.
Now they try to chop him apparently, right? So it works, or it's working. It looks like technically, yeah, right.
He's like, I tried to do this shit early in the summer, or I guess there was no summer, but you know what I mean? During that quick off season, he was like, yo, I was trying to get out, you know, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? You sit back, Cassius, and keep pushing you to the side, and you know what I mean? Tell them,
you got to do something, right? Yeah,
I gotta get out of here, man.
I'm not mad
get out of here.
I'm not mad at him for it because he's like, hey man, I told y'all what it is. If y'all ain't gonna respect that, then I ain't gonna respect y'all, right? So it's a respect thing, right? So
maybe he looking at it somewhat like KD was, you know, 5 years ago when he went to Golden State. He's like, yo, shit, I ain't got MVP. I'm balling. I got scoring titles, all that shit. Let me just figure this ring out. Yeah, let me just get this ring, you know what I mean, before I'm over here like 45 and still putting up numbers, but ain't got no hardware. You know what I mean? Yeah. So Cats, you know what I mean? Maybe KD, I mean, well, LeBron, I guess, changed the game. You know what I'm saying? Changed that philosophy, you know what I mean? And KD amplified it, you know, but that could be what it is. But he just, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Get me the fuck up out of this joint.
True.
And I'm putting up numbers behind it, so what? It ain't like it's some no-name nigga that's out there like talking, you know what I mean, demanding shit. This cat, we all, I mean, say whatever you want to say about his game, but we all know Harden putting up numbers, you know?
Putting up numbers. But, I mean, it looked like some of the shit I was reading, too, today was saying, like, a lot of cats, like, a lot of teams are saying, like, nah, we straight.
I mean, they don't want that drama. It's a lot of...
They don't want that baggage.
Perceived drama.
No, it's
perceived drama.
I don't know if it's the perceived drama or are they asking for too much? Not too much, but that's more what it is. It's like, yo, we want the next 10 years, your draft picks for the next 10 years, plus your 3 hottest players. I think that's more what it is.
It might be even more than that, man. Maybe that they think that how do you build your team around somebody that only got like maybe 5-6 years left, right? So that means you're gonna have to sacrifice like the new teams coming in and potential draft picks. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like
it's a lot to sacrifice.
It's a lot to sacrifice. Is it worth it right now, or do you just
Yeah, it depends. I mean, it essentially, honestly, it depends. You know what I'm saying? How do you look if you're somebody like Mark Cuban and not saying Mark Cuban's team right now, but I'm just saying that mentality. Yo, I got the bread. Or there's 2 ways to look at it. A, we have a realistic chance and I'm about to put it on the line and try to get it this year or next year. Or B, my shit sucks right now and I need to sell some tickets and get cats in here in the arena. Not in the arena, but you know what I mean? I need to get the media on me, I guess, because we can't go to the arena. But I need attention over here right now.
You know what? That's funny, Rex, you said that, because that's what's changing the dynamics now from being traded, right? Because if I was whatever team, Milwaukee Bucks, hypothetically, right, and we wanted James Harden, a big part of that would be like, I know he's going to bring in more people to the stadium, but now the stadium don't even matter.
The revenue associated.
The revenue,
yeah,
it's not guaranteed right now.
Sit where he going to be. You know?
Yeah, but you know what I mean. There's definite teams and there's definite scenarios, but I think what James didn't have in his favor right now is time. You know what I mean? When I say time, I'm talking like the general free agency aspect. It was like 70 days off between the championship, 73 days technically since the Lakers won the championship till today is the kickoff, right? Generally, not saying there's a lot more time, but everything is not condensed. I mean, you figure with everything going on right now, just like, oh, how are we going to play? How many games? How many this? Can we get people in? Can we not get people in? Oh, we want to do thing. I mean, for this hard shit right now, you need like 3, 4, 5 teams basically to be involved to make that shit work.
That Disney shit, man. Can we all agree that Disney, that thing they did with the NBA, changed everything?
Bubble, yeah. So I'm gonna ask a dumb question. They're playing in the home stadiums
I'm just saying
now,
the
right?
bubble like set a precedence.
No, 100%.
On how you keep a franchise going. You know what I'm saying? Like
how you keep a brand active during the bullshit.
Man, Jesus.
Yeah, 100%. And you're right. Now they're playing in the stadiums with no fans, but you're right. That shit was
that shit was amazing, man. They ain't had no problems. It was prostitutes coming through and broads coming through. They was getting kicked out. You know what I'm saying?
NBA is probably one of the best brands that's happening right now, just on the aspect.
Yeah, I agree.
Adam, what's his name? I was about to say Howard Stern. David Stern really said
Adam
Silver.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying yes, Adam Silver. But I was saying David Stern set it up, and then obviously I was saying shout out, rest in peace. But he kind of started to transcend that culture. But Adam Silver really came in and put that shit into overdrive. Yeah, he kicked it. He knocked it all the way down. You know what I mean? Because I keep wanting to say it, Howard Stern. David Stern's goal was to make it a global brand. After he made it the global brand, then Adam Silver really came in and made it a global brand for the people and the players
Tony B.
at the same time.
I think what
you look like a Sri Lankan Adam Silver.
I look nothing like Adam Silver, bro.
Adam Silver resembled Buddy Professor X. What's my man's name?
There's literally no resemblance at all.
You look like Adam Silver, but you Sri Lankan.
Man, motherfucker.
Yo, Adam Silver squashed the marijuana test for the NBA.
I know Tony B is also the person from the weed package, Zigzag.
Yeah, with the beard.
Yeah. Zigzag.
How about both of them people, man? they look nothing alike. Like literally, they look nothing alike.
Yeah, they've got that
has, like no hair. Like I don't even know if he has eyebrows, man. Like, no, but I think like going back to what Rex was saying before I started wilding about these like totally non-comparable entities. No, like, but wasn't it like at the time? But also, like, I think, like, with like you said, with that transition from David Stern to Adam Silver, right? It was also David Silver was there during the anti-hip hop,
the hip hop era.
When he was like, "Nah, fuck this dress code. Like, y'all can't get this shit out of here. Like, you can stop. You can't bring your homies in. Like." Remember, like, there was that whole lockdown there, right? And then, like, kind of Adam Silver was kind of like, nah, let's relax all these rules type shit, right? Like,
yep.
Yeah, man. But yeah, speaking of hoops, man, Aubrey, your man's, we were talking about this before we got into the Harden shit. You went off and signed the biggest contract in NBA history, huh?
Oh, we talking about who we talking about? Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, man, it's Giannis. That 5-year, $228.2 million supermax.
I wish you could see sitting to the left of me is a autograph Giannis Antetokounmpo number 34 Milwaukee Bucks jersey on my wall. So we'll see.
Are you recording in the stadium?
Am I what?
You in the arena?
No, I ain't in the goddamn arena, but I got the jersey. I bought the jersey. So
I definitely
got the jersey, the signed autograph Giannis. So what I will say, man, is that no matter what, man, I ain't gonna front. I was a little nervous that he wasn't gonna sign, but I really thought he would.
I bet you were.
I really thought he would have like went to Canada.
Golden State or some shit.
I didn't
Toronto.
think about Golden State, man. I didn't think they could afford him, but you know,
You
They
thought
was
he might
talking
could have
about
left? Like, you really thought he might could, like, when we were joking about that shit and you were like, nah, I go say, you were really kind of
no, after
low-key nervous?
after like maybe 3 or maybe it got weird, man, right? Because he wasn't saying shit. And he just didn't say anything. And then he didn't say anything.
He didn't squash it.
Nah,
He
like
didn't
he
shut that
just
shit down.
didn't. Maybe he was negotiating behind the scenes, man. But it got really like weird for a while. So then when he signed it, it just confirmed what everybody in Wisconsin and Milwaukee thought. But he used to live in the building with my one of my baby moms, right? And in Wisconsin, Giannis moved there where they put all the rookies at, and Wisconsin's out in the suburb. And he was one of those kids that was in there. So I knew about dude closely from that scenario. But homeboy, at that point, even then, man, it was like 5 cats living in the crib. And I knew where she lived, and they had the same apartment, bro. Like, he's been that way from day one, man. You know what I mean? Like, he's been same dude that I think I know. I don't know by any means. He could be a dickhead, but I don't think he is. But he's been that same kid from day one, and that hunger, man, is something you gotta appreciate that type of shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that's what it is, man. Like, them cats, man, like ain't amount of money worth loyalty, man. You know what I mean? When you got loyalty like that, and his mom's was like, yo, he asked her, he was like, yo, where you want to go? And she was like, I like it here. Let's chill. Who the fuck says that about Milwaukee, bro? Nobody says that about Milwaukee, man.
He said what? He said what?
He asked his moms, he was trying to make the decision and was like, yo, where you want to go? Like, where do you want to move to? And she was like, I like it here. And he was like, I bet. Then he signed his deal.
Staying here.
Yeah. It's Milwaukee, man. That's crazy, bro. Man, shit. I guess you can give me that kind of money to stay in Milwaukee. But if I was, if I'm on the come up, I don't think I'm staying in Milwaukee, bro.
Not in real time.
Not in real time at all.
I mean, he's there for the next at least through 24, 25.
I think that's also a part of the aspect that I don't know. You know what I mean? We'll see. Hopefully it works out for the brother. You know what I mean? I think it just also might also be what's the word I'm trying to look for? I gotta make sure I find the right, like, is it like a baby deer, like, you know what I'm saying?
Stop being disrespectful, Rex. You out here.
No, I'm
this
not.
Dude said a baby
I'm
deer.
not, but
you talking about like a headlights or something like that? What are you talking about, bro?
Yeah, that's funny. I said baby deer, Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? But just like kind of, it's like in awe. You know what I'm saying? Just like, this is great.
Milwaukee,
you know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Like
there is no ego.
Cool.
There's no ego in Milwaukee.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but still, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I'm getting paid. I'm in the States. I'm in America. You know what I'm saying? And again, my family. Go ahead, T.
No, I think what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, Rex. Like, because reading about his backstory, man, like, and his brothers and everything, and his mom, like you said, Aubrey, like, I mean, these cats came from nothing, like, and for them to, all be in the league, and like for him to have got he's the highest paid athlete on a North American sports team now, man. Like, that, and the other thing about his contract is every penny's guaranteed, bro. Like,
everything. They're also thirsty right now in that space.
I thought they was going to give dude part ownership of the team. Part of me.
That's what I'm saying here. Like, they're so thirsty that they probably should have or could have. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's kind of what I was thinking. I
think that would have set a dangerous precedent.
It definitely would.
For superstars.
It definitely would. Any player, yes. 100%.
Yeah.
All right, let's
yeah. But you know what, Aubrey, the crazy thing, I wanted to talk about this real quick, because this is so crazy about like how much he lost or could potentially lose from this contract or could have made.
That's what I'm saying.
It's insane, right? And this is because
What do you mean,
we were
Tony B?
talking
What do you
about
mean?
like, well, all of us were talking about when we were talking about shit earlier. We were talking about revenue at the stadiums, right? At the arenas, right? That factors into the salaries, right? So they were saying, like, if you look at Giannis's contract versus A Rod's contract, right? A Rod's deal was $252 million over 10
Who's
years.
A-Rod?
Rodriguez,
Alex
Alex,
Rodriguez.
Baseball. Okay. Yeah.
baseball,
Yeah,
baseball,
it
buddy.
was the biggest contract, right?
He was thinking Aaron. He was thinking Aaron Rodgers. So go ahead,
He
though.
was.
That's a
He
fact.
was. He was. I shouldn't have said that. But so it was the biggest. It was the biggest deal. So they were saying that Giannis could have got a deal that paid him $50 million a year because he's getting $45 million, I think, a year now, right? And he could have passed A Rod's contract in half the time because it was a 5-year contract, right?
Right,
But
in half the year,
yeah, so they're saying,
they offered Harden $50 million. He turned it down.
yeah, but they're saying because of that 22. They're saying because you got to take off, like, there's 22. No, what did they say? 25 million that he could potentially lose from that contract that he has now. If you factor in what we were talking about with the earlier with the attendance revenue.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I was thinking about, man. I've been thinking about like fried fish, man. Like lately, man. Like, can you hear me? Like perch. Where we at? Oh man, we still got all that shit to talk about, man. Who the fuck is this? Academics versus gatekeepers. What that mean? Yeah, I don't. Who are the gatekeepers? You mean gatekeepers like literally? I mean, or figuratively? I'm sorry, figuratively.
People who consider themselves gatekeepers.
Yeah. And academics meaning like
They're the
academics
they're
cat meaning
the
like
new wave versus the gatekeepers, like the people that were saying like Little Yachty or Lil Yachty or all this mumble rap shit, like, is not hip hop. We're not giving this any play, yada yada. Versus the people that gave it that gave them a platform, that gave the drill shit, the mumble rap, all that shit. Versus people that were like not about it. Now it blew up, and now they're trying to catch up. So now it's like a battle saying like, "Yo,
so my opinion, man, like, I think, man, like, we can answer this question real quick, right? I don't think it's a big thing, but academic versus the gatekeepers. What I think, I heard somebody say the other day, man, that academics was needed to give us a balance of where you stood on hip hop and how you saw hip hop being represented, right? A lot of us felt like academics was kind of, fraudulent. He exposed shit that didn't need to be exposed, like Vlad TV.
well, he was
You know what
also
I mean?
talking
Like
disrespectful.
they did things,
He
huh?
was also talking disrespectful, like when he was making light of people like getting killed. Like,
Yeah. I mean, it's all like it's shit that don't have to be exposed that they were exposing. But what I will say, man, is that it gave us the same perspective as having Donald Trump, right? Like Donald Trump had to show us what people in Middle America and the folks that weren't promoted to the front of the line felt, and that's the same way academics is, right? Like he promotes the kids that are not heard, the kids that can sit behind a computer and type shit up. You know what I'm saying? But we have to be able to respect that. We have to like look at it and say, okay, this is what it is, and then that way we know what it is, so we know how to move against that kind of situation. So that's my thought on it.
no, I hear what you're saying. I mean, like the reason I bring this up is because like I don't know if you jumped on Clubhouse yet, but okay, so everyday struggle, whatever ended, right? So Meek and him were on Clubhouse, like literally like screaming at each other, and then like 21 Savage jumped in and kind of intervened and was like, the voice of reason or whatever, right? Like, but basically, that's this like what you just said is what they were arguing about, right? Like how he contributes to the culture and how he portrays the culture through his platform and yada yada, right? So the gatekeepers that we were talking about earlier, Ebro and Peter Rosenberg on Hot 97 called him out also, right? And Peter Rosenberg went to the extent of saying, like, man, I'm not a tough guy, but man, I will. This is the one guy in hip hop that I will fight. Like, I will beat this dude's ass. Like, he was that mad about it. Like, so Akademiks responded and said, like, all right, cool, man. Like, y'all are old heads. And y'all are just mad because y'all are irrelevant now. And y'all are mad because y'all ain't popping. And basically he was saying, like, I took y'all's spot and now I'm y'all, and now y'all are mad because y'all ain't relevant anymore. And officially Ice, I don't know if y'all know this cat on Twitter, but he made a great point about this. He was saying, like, people like, Ebro and Rosenberg don't embrace the new generation. They never embraced the new generation when that shift was happening, right? So they're saying like they could have, but they didn't. And then in comes a guy like Akademiks, right? And he only focuses on giving these guys this new generation a platform. Now that new generation becomes the current generation, and is the mainstream, right? They're the shit that's popping. So now he's basically saying, like, they're kind of mad because even as trash as Akademiks is, he got the kids' attention. He figured the game out and played the game and figured it out, right? So that's the gatekeepers versus the new generation argument that I was asking you about, At the same time, like, don't get it twisted. Like you were saying, like earlier, Akademiks is a guy that promoted the worst shit that was going on in the culture, right? He promoted all the, like, violence in Chicago and everything,
Right.
like,
Yeah, I missed the first 2 seconds, but Akademiks is definite one that's unfortunately, but kind of figured out that code, and he definitely has a lot of cats' ears. I mean, and the messed up part is cats know he's what's the word? I guess whack, right? Cats know he's whack or what he's about, but they still tune in.
But that's what I mean. Like, him being that whack and all that shit. Like, him, we know he's trash, right? But this generation does it, right? So him backing, like, people like Tekashi 6ix9ine and shit. And when Tekashi 6ix9ine was talking all that shit about Chicago, and he was talking shit about, that, it's dangerous. It's creating a situation where you could get people like hurt, right? Like, and he was also portraying shit that created and helped shape that national narrative about rappers in Chicago and violence and all that shit, right? Like,
Right. No, he definitely helped amp all that shit up,
Hey, man, I love you guys, man. I do. I love you guys. But
you ain't going nowhere.
I'm about to hang up the phone and I'm going to eat some fish.
No,
I'm
you
going
ain't.
to lay down with my girlfriend. I'm tired, man. I don't want to talk to y'all no more. I'm tired, man. I'm tired, man. I'm ready to go to bed. I'm starting to pee. I know this is becoming a trend, but I just want to go to bed, man. I'm very tired.
It's because you're old.
Yeah, I'm old and I have a baby that just went to sleep. And I can watch a movie with my girlfriend and eat some fish right quick. I think
you ain't about to watch a movie, motherfucker.
You about to fall asleep. You ain't about to watch no movie.
I ain't making no movie. Trust me, I'm too tired.
What about
for that.
You ain't about to watch a movie?
I said you ain't about to watch it. What about nigga, your attention span ain't right.
A movie about to watch me. That's what I'm talking about. A movie about to watch me. I'm about to go eat some food. Some fish.
What about, real quick, before you hop off, they was talking about your man Randy Moss and not even slick. I mean,
why you trying to wrangle me into this shit, Rex?
I was talking about Randy Moss and that Jerry Rice though, real quick.
Yeah, man. He said I mean, you had some subpar receivers over there in Green Bay over the years, man. Y'all saw Randy Moss said Rice
Green Bay
third or
stays.
fourth best wide receiver of all time. He said he's number one,
Yeah.
T.O.'s number two, then maybe Rice. Third or fourth.
Third or fourth. Randy is a beast, but I don't know. Aubrey, what you thinking? Jerry Rice is definitely the GOAT receiver for the most part. I mean, he's definitely top three regardless.
Yeah, he broke the
You know what
rules,
I mean?
man. You know, but he also
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
also had two of the best quarterbacks.
Two of the best of all time.
And, and Jerry Rice.
That's why.
I'm sorry, and Randy Moss didn't, and neither did.
Culpepper and who did Randy Moss have? Well, take that back. He had Culpepper, he had Brady, and I think don't quote me, but I think Brett Favre might have threw to him for a little bit. I could be wrong.
About? Randy Moss? No, he had that motherfucker had what's the old school? The old school black dude that played for the Eagles. Remember that was his first quarterback.
Cunningham?
Who? Randall
Cunningham. Remember Randall Cunningham?
Oh, in Minnesota.
No, him.
Yeah,
barely, but it was him and Dante Culpepper.
That's right. It was Culpepper.
Yeah. It was Culpepper, but it was also first was Homeboy when he got drafted.
Was it Randall?
I mean, Cunningham might have been other.
It was Randall Cunningham.
No, but Rex, you asked if he played with Favre.
No, he never played.
Yeah, I didn't. Was he? I said I could be wrong, but I didn't know if he was on Minnesota.
No, I think you're right.
No.
Favre went
to Minnesota. Randy, he was gone.
Yeah,
he might have been gone by then.
He might have been gone by then. But he also played with Tom Brady when Tom Brady had 50 touchdowns at undefeated.
Tom Brady didn't even need him at that point, you know.
No, but what I'm just saying though, that helped his career. Randy Moss we're talking Randy Moss, not versus, but Randy Moss versus Jerry Rice versus I guess who the other one would be who T.O. and who else is in the top.
Yo, it's a lot of wide receivers, man. That conversation is useless, man. I don't even know what that conversation is.
Marvin Harrison.
But I mean, between them two, who cares?
Andre Reed.
They both are fucking legends. No,
Randy Moss clearly cares.
Yeah, that's a different league.
Andre Reed ain't in the top 3.
He ain't in the top 10.
Irvin top 5. You know what I'm saying? I think the top 3 though. Yeah, I think the top 3 though, without without really sitting
Jerry
back
Rice is definitely
Jerry Rice definitely.
Randy's definitely
Randy Moss.
Jerry Rice is on top 3. Yeah, he's top 3.
And T.O. is definitely
He's a monster.
He's
a monster. But I would put Marvin Harrison in that top 3 with Jerry Rice and. No, that's facts, man. Look at the numbers, bro. Look at the numbers. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't, bro. Marvin Harrison.
He'd be in top 5.
You said Marvin Harrison in the top 5?
Top 8.
Definitely, he's top 5. 100%. That's not even debatable. Look at the numbers, Aubrey. Look at the numbers. It's not arguable.
How many rings you got?
One.
Oh, okay.
Randy Moss ain't got none.
No, he got one with the Patriots, didn't he?
Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison both have rings, and they have records.
But you also
they both top 10.
Reggie Wayne is up there. He's not in the top 5. I'm not going to say he's in the top 5.
No, I'm saying, but he might be a Pro Bowl wide receiver.
He was his whole career. Yeah.
So you got both of them? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good wideouts.
That's all good. Hey, man, I'm going to eat fish, man. I'll holler at you guys later. Smoke good, drink good.
You did. I'm doing both as we speak.
Yeah. I'm about to go. I love you.
Yeah,
who y'all playing this week, Aubrey? Who the Packers playing?
Man. You're not rocking with the best. Hold on, who just texted me? That nigga's leave me alone.
You're not rocking with the sleepiest.
Yeah, you're not rocking with the sleepiest. I'm about to go get me some perch, and I got some.
You're now rocking with the most tired. Call 1-900.
Yeah. All right. Hey man,
sleep a lot.
Yo, man. Yo, when all this shit get done, man, when you getting back, Tony B? Like sometime next week or whatever.
Yeah, man. All right. Shit, man. I'm gonna go see the family, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I dig it, man.
You know how I be, man.
Yo, when you get back, man, you sit down for a couple days. Come through, man. Like, Rex, go pick this cat up, man.
Yeah.
Y'all come through. Once Tony B sit down, Beto come through, man. Like, y'all come check out, the side of town I live on. Just come chill, see what's good, man. We can all sit in the back. Yeah, we can sit in the garage. I can cut the heater on in the garage. We can all be 6 feet apart. So, straight up, man. Happy holidays to y'all, man. Like, I love all 4 of y'all, all 3 of y'all. You know what I mean?
Yo, yeah, definitely, man.
Hopefully, man.
In the studio.
That'd be fantastic.
Definitely, y'all, man. I love y'all too, man. And hey, man, y'all and everybody listening, y'all all say a prayer for my grandmother, man. She's not doing too well right now, man. So y'all say a prayer for her. Put her up in the prayers, man.
Man, let's take it. You want to take out some? Let's take out a little moment of silence, man. How long you want to do it for, Tony?
I want to do a moment of silence,
you call
man. You know what I'm saying? Right? Let's.
No, just like yeah. All right, well, peace to Tony B's grandma.
Yeah, appreciate y'all though, man.
That's the fact.
Power.
All right, y'all, man. Y'all tell them Aubrey, you're now rocking with the. Yeah, man. This is the last episode of 2020, y'all, man. We got through 2020, and we launched a podcast in a pandemic in 2020. So, shout out to Aubrey, shout out to Rex Cruz, shout out to Beto, shout out to everybody at Earhole, shout out to Jackie. Yo, we did this shit, man. We here now.
And Wayne.
Shout out to Wayne.
Straight up. And then Tony B, me and Rex might do our own little podcast while you
I heard about that. Man.
Yeah. You about to go out of town. We about to sign a deal with TV1.
I saw Roland Martin rolling out the trailers and shit, and I was like,
that motherfucker said Roland Martin.
Right.
Yo, Roland Martin.
He was like, yo, Aubrey got that hot shit.
Yeah, we about to.
I had to run through this back side.
All right, y'all, man.
All right, y'all, love, man.
Happy holidays, everybody. One.
All right, peace.
You're not rocking with the motherfucking best.
Yo, you've been rocking with 3 Sides to a Story. Follow us on Instagram at 3 Sides to a Story, on Facebook at 3 Sides Podcast, on Twitter. Subscribe, tune in, and turn up on all podcast platforms.